Tim Walberg.
If you think you're going to privatize Social Security,
You're going to have to go through me.
And me.
And me.
here's what you don't get, Mr. Walberg.
We live on our Social Security.
We paid into it for more than 50 years.
And we depend on it every day.
So when you call Social Security worthless, Mr. Walberg,
And a Ponzi scheme?
And say you want to privatize our Social Security, Mr. Walberg.
You're going to have to answer to us.
To hear that we are countenancing just doing a payroll tax holiday of continuation of 10 months, which allows those just mean, nasty senior faces that were attacking me all through the last campaign in TV ads saying, Congressman Walberg, you can't hurt our Social Security. And that's exactly what we're potentially willing to do.
I know that our seniors are really worried about making sure that we have a retirement in the set up for them in our country that's reliable, and that we stop talking about it as a privatization. You know, Mr. Walberg's talked about should be privatized, and it's a Ponzi scheme. He's made a lot of statements in the past. He's been quoted in the paper. So I think I appreciate that he's saying that now. So that's great. It sounds like he's rethinking that now that he's a senior. But he also has a federal pension that is completely different than the Social Security that the rest of us are going to rely on.
No. Could I respond?
I'll give you that discretion. Go ahead.
Number one, we don't have a pension in Congress. We're basically on a 401k plan. And that's something that can be checked out as a fact. I've never called Social Security a Ponzi scheme. I've said that there are broken parts to our Social Security and that could be fixed. But I've never called for privatization. And listening to the campaign ads of the Democrat Party saying Paul Ryan was going to throw Graham over the cliff, that was false as well. So I just want to make that very clear. I've never said those things, and we've worked to achieve. And like I said, my bill would do something significant, and I think that's why a lot of people in Congress don't want to see it move forward, so they won't have a slush fund to use. And I'm different on that.
Tim, I kind of characterize our Social Security system as probably a Ponzi scheme that would make Bernie Madoff blush. Would you support the privatization of Social Security and get away from this Ponzi scheme?
Yeah, when you throw the word privatization at you, a seasoned campaigner like me understands that is a buzzword that is just about as negative as a noose hanging around your neck. But in talking with you, we all understand what that means, and I definitely support the privatization of the so-called Social Security system. And my principle would run very much along what Paul Ryan has been talking about, and what even George W. Bush talked about, but so ineffectively, that we would make sure that we establish the fact that those who have been paying into Social Security involuntarily have at least that protection that says we made a promise, even though you and I both know there is no promise in law.
No.
But we have technically made a promise, and we are not going to leave you without hope and without that security, knowing that what is there will be yours. But we're going to say for the incoming workforce, whatever age we put that at or whatever, but basically what we're going to say is we're going to give you an opportunity to opt into a system that's basically a 401k.
I mean, I think it's a violation of the very basic concepts of our Constitution to require people to take their money and put it into Social Security.
Well, I wouldn't debate that with you at all. If you gave me a chance today to go to a 401k plan replacing my Social Security, I'd go to a 401k plan. It wouldn't be because I was forced. It would be because, hey, this is an opportunity. for me, and I will do far better than the federal government from here on out. That's for sure.
Oh, it's a Ponzi scheme.
You're right.
That's all it is. All the people that wrote it belong in jail.
Well,
and the Supreme Court that approved it belong in jail.
Right, or they need to be impeached.
Yeah, well, they're dead now. So
yeah.
So now you got to
anyway.
Congress, because Congress could overturn it, but they refuse to do so.
And again, that goes back to who we elect, and we've been pretty lethargic in who we elected in recent years, and I think Barack Obama may have done us a great favor of slapping us upside the head and giving real live illustrations that, hey, this is what happened.
I'm satisfied with the answer, Don.
Congressman Walberg, you can't hurt our Social Security. And
I definitely support the privatization of the so-called Social Security system.
Oh, it's a Ponzi scheme.
You're right.
That's all it is.